The next segment that we've got coming up is a tax segment, which is really, I think, dear to my heart because I didn't learn about this stuff till late in life, and I just look at how many I don't even think of like hundreds of thousands of dollars I probably just spent because I didn't have the right tax strategy. So this is something that we wanted to bring for you guys to be able to speak to your clients. So please help welcome Rose from Americana Tax Planning.
Hi, thank you for having me. How powerful would it be if you as real estate agents and loan officers for that matter were able to confidently suggest tax planning strategies that you knew would save your clients tens of thousands, if not more, annually in their taxes, and you had the resources and professionals at your disposal to be able to add this to your pitch to them, to close that deal, to get that listing. This is what a lot of the top producers that we work with, this is what they do. They deploy these tactics. So I'm here to talk about everybody's favorite subject, taxes. And I was just unceremoniously advised by my whole team to not be so stiff. So I'm gonna do my best not to be so stiff today. I've had the pleasure over the last 15 years of owning the office of working with some great real estate agents, right? They're consistently closing transactions no matter what the market looks like. So I want to share some of the tactics that they're deploying with you guys. Hopefully you can take this home. You guys have a lot of power. So you guys are facilitating the largest transactions that most of us will execute in our lifetime. It's a lot of power there, a lot of influence, a lot of trust. So you guys already have that on your side. So these top producers, they're leveraging that. Some basics. So I got a phone call. Basics are going to be, as professionals, working with paraprofessionals that understand the real estate industry. So we're working with attorneys, we're working with tax professionals that are competent and that they understand the real estate industry and what those transactions look like on paper. So I get a phone call from a real estate agent. She wasn't a client at the time when she called. She's actually the team mom for my daughter's soccer team. She called me April 2025, so 2 months ago, 8 p.m. on my cell phone, very distraught, so I knew it was serious. I took the phone call, and she's very upset. She has been receiving some nasty phone calls from a transaction that she closed March of 2024, so a whole year previous. She listed the home, the transaction closed without a hiccup, everybody walked away happy, particularly the seller who walked away with a very large gain. So fast forward a year, she's receiving these phone calls because that client has to pay the taxes on that transaction. So she's coming at the agent, you didn't tell me I was gonna pay taxes, I could have done a 1031 exchange, which was misinformation. But the point of it was that they weren't working with somebody who understood how that transaction should have been reflected on the tax return, and it's too late. This type of information needs to be done while the transaction is happening. So I stopped the agent, like, stop. It's out of the scope of your engagement to advise a client on anything that has to do with taxes. And then second, going forward, make sure that you are advising your clients in writing to sit down with the tax professional. Sit down, make sure they understand what that transaction is gonna look like for them on paper so that they can prepare. And the top producers that we work with, they're not afraid of killing a deal by sending somebody to go talk about what the tax liability is gonna look like. They're more concerned with future business, making sure that they're taking care of the client's best interest. So you wanna make sure that you're working with professionals and you are strongly encouraging your client to sit down with a professional so that they understand what that liability looks like. If there are taxes and they're proactive, there's tons of fun tax planning strategies that they can deploy to mitigate, if not eliminate, those taxes. Now we have some speakers coming up that are gonna talk about just that. So that was that. Second, I told her, send the client to us. If there's anything we can do, we'll take care of it. Send the client to us. We were asked questions about the transaction itself and the family. We asked the right questions, did the right research. We were able to reduce that client, when she came to us, was on the hook for $75,000 based on information she had provided to the previous preparer. By the time my team was done with it, her liability was $15,000. So everybody walked away happy. The agent. Important to work with the right professionals. Another top producer that we work with, this guy's a monster in my opinion, meaning consistently has listings, and he's listing multi-units consistently. He's always busy. What this agent does is he goes above and beyond. All the top producers that we work with, they're going above and beyond. They're thinking outside of the box. They're creating opportunity where most agents probably wouldn't see it. So what this agent does is he works closely with the cost segregation firm. And most of us have probably heard of cost segregation, may know how it functions on the surface. It's a very powerful strategy that, when used on the proper property and for the proper buyer, is extremely powerful and reduces tax liability. So this agent goes out of his way for his listings for multi-units. He works with a cost segregation firm and gets a benefit analysis report. Most cost segregation firms give these at no cost. So he gets the benefit analysis report, and he presents it to all the potential buyers. And he shows them, if you purchase this property, it's eligible for a cost segregation report. Without it, this is what your depreciation will be. With the cost segregation study, this is what your depreciation will be, which drives down their tax liability. So it makes that property that much more attractive to the buyers. So he's always busy. He's always busy. Another quick story I'll share with you guys, which we're seeing this a lot. We're in a world of baby boomers right now. So there's baby boomers, and they own a lot of real estate. They have a lot of equity in this real estate, which means a lot of capital gains. So we work with another agent. We work very closely with him. He's extremely proactive. He will come to us before he has a listing meeting. He goes prepared to the listing meeting with tools and solutions before the client even has a chance to rebuttal. So one of the first rebuttals are going to be, I don't want to pay capital gains. The agent's like, beautiful, we don't want you to pay capital gains either. So he'll come to us ahead of time with preliminary numbers that he gathers, and he has us help him structure a seller carryback. So what we do, he takes it to the client, I don't want to pay capital taxes, perfect, I have a solution. You won't pay any capital taxes, let's cash you out as much as possible, so you don't have to pay any taxes that first year. You carry a private note, and you're going to earn interest income. So we just executed one for him a couple weeks ago. If the seller would have went through with the traditional sale, the seller would have paid $150,000 in capital gains. He utilized the seller carryback proposal that we helped prepare. He's not paid any capital gains tax, and he's carrying a note, $500,000. He'll make $180,000 in interest income over the next 10 years. So same thing, everybody's happy. There's a lot of non-traditional buyers out there too, right? There's a lot of us are self-employed, tax returns look different, non-traditional financing looks very attractive to us. So where there's a will, there's a way. But consistently, the top producers, these are the tactics that they're deploying. So they're thinking outside of the box, being very creative, and working with professionals. They're not advising their clients, but they're directing them to us so that we can properly help them execute. So if you guys are interested in learning more, we're hosting a workshop next Thursday, 12 p.m. via Zoom. You can register via the link. And if you can't attend, I would still encourage you to register, because we'll send you the recording of it. But there's some powerful stuff that can be done. If you guys have any questions, my team's here. Feel free to ask us questions. Thank you.